the other day, you'll love this story. I decided I need to think through. It was actually something related to business, and but it was like 11:45, and I said, "Babes, our door has an alarm, so it beeps when uh, you open the door." I said, "So, babes, I'm going to go out for a walk, and just giving her a heads up because she's going to hear the beep, and I don't want her to get scared in the middle of the night." So, and she goes, "What the hell are you going for a walk for?" It's like, I think better when I walk. And so she's like, "It's late. It's not safe." And I'm like, "I'm a big guy. I'm fine. There's nobody out there." And, uh, and then she's like, "Who are you going to see?" Right. I'm like, the idea that I am suave enough to have an affair in the 15-minute window between 11:45 and midnight, out on the road by my house is. I mean, in a sense, Wendy doesn't give me enough credit, as you can tell from the stories that I tell in my mind. And in a sense, she gives me far too much credit.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, it's not the in lockdown. Now I'm going to go take a drive. It's never terribly well received.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, even without driving, somehow I apparently got my mistress to visit me once in 2 months, etc. And then a friend of mine made a great point. In fact, I'll tell you who it is because she asked for credit. Funny enough, it's Catherine Fisher, who was my campaign manager. And just unrelated to that story completely, we were talking about it in another context, and she made a great point. She said, "What I wonder what happened to the guys with two families. Coronavirus had to devastate them." That's true. How the hell do you manage the two families in the middle of coronavirus? It can't be done.
On the show Billions, our mutual friend who's been on Old School, Kelly O'Coin, who plays Dollar Bill Stern. He's a guy with two families, and if they ever do coronavirus, it's got to kill that guy. That's totally right. I've always been trying to find out sort of people in this crisis who are not, whose hardship is not been discussed enough, who's not been highlighted. I mean, obviously, let's acknowledge the obvious. There's so many people alone, right? Who I think about it every day. People who are alone. Some of them are young, some of them are middle-aged, and some of them are old. And it's, in each case, it could be fairly tragic. But then I think about like people who are really hot for each other and just started to date, right? I mean, they're really into each other, but they've had one date or two dates or three dates. Like, what do they do? Can they go see each other? Can they? I don't know. Like, it's got to suck, right? That part. And then I didn't even think about people with two families. Like the stress, it's just brutal. I mean, one family's lost their dad, unless the person with two families is a woman.
Yeah. So when I mentioned Catherine's text to Wendy, she's like, "Wait a minute, do you have two families?" I'm like, "Babes, okay, that's even crazier than the mistress." So my other family is okay with me visiting them for 15 minutes at midnight. One day out of 2 months. Man, they got low expectations. I can't be getting much credit at that family.
Also, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Like if you really made the case to Wendy about you having a second family, she might go for it. I mean, like what, 2 or 3 days off a week from you? From your heroism,
She's like, "Do the dishes and go. I'm good." Hey, you know what? It's a brilliant idea, Ben. I hadn't thought of it. If I would go to her, mea culpa, like, "Ah, man, babes, I'm so sorry, but it turns out I got two families and the kids. What are you gonna do? You gotta, you can't be indecent to the kids. You're a therapist, you know that, right?" But instead, I just go to Manhattan Beach and no other family. I just have the time of my life. I go to the movies. I go eat wherever I want. I hang out with my friends. The only person to admit to having two families that actually doesn't have two families. It's a brilliant idea.
Yeah, faking two families is a brilliant idea. That's
right.
Yeah,
that's right.
So one of the great things about that show Billions, which again premiered last night, the new season premiered last night, is that how they nailed that two-family story. Like, it would be, of course, overwhelmingly stressful all of the time. Like, he talked about when he has 2 Honda minivans. Like, that's how they figured it out, right? Because they, 2 different Honda minivans with 2 different easy passes, right? And so, like, you got to have 2 vans, and you got to go to 2 different soccer games, and you can't take the one kid to the other kid's game, right? Or you have to choose which game. It's brutal. Like, of course, it would be incredibly stressful. So I'm no longer considering it.
All right, thanks for watching this free clip of Old School. Don't forget to become a TYT member today for the rest of the show and for more exclusive content throughout the network. Join now at tyt.com/join. We found television's best